Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel and good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are doing very fine in your life in this lockdown period. No, so I expect that you have seen my previous videos which I when I started the chapter energy. The previous video was about what is energy and the main two forms of energy, which is the kinetic energy and potential energy. Videos have been uploaded. If you haven't seen, watch those videos and you can watch this video, then you will understand it much better. So today we will continue with the chapter. Today we will discuss about the other forms of energy other than kinetic and potential energy. So the first kind of energy that we have in our book is chemical energy. So the next energy after the kinetic energy and potential energy is chemical energy. Now what is chemical energy? Suppose you consider a matter. This is a matter, okay? You consider this as a matter. Now this matter contains some energy. This matter contains certain amount of energy. This matter contains certain amount of energy, okay? And by some chemical process, by some chemical process, like heating the matter. Chemical process means what? Like heating. For example, heating it. This energy which is there inside the matter can be utilized to do some work. This energy which is there inside the matter can be utilized to perform certain amount of work. So the energy which is stored inside the matter is called as chemical energy. So what is chemical energy? Chemical energy, when the energy is stored inside a matter and can be utilized to do some work by a chemical process, that energy we consider that as a chemical energy. Okay. Now, what are the examples that we have in our book? Food. Now, the food that we eat, consider this as food. Consider this as one rasgulla, okay? For instance. So, this is a food, and food contains what energy inside them? Food contains chemical energy. Food contains chemical energy. Now, when we eat the food, when we consume the food, when we eat the food, this food happens to break into small fine particles. Okay, our body does a lot of heating to the food, and all the chemical energy which is there inside the food is released to our body. So all the chemical energy is released to our body, and the energy which is released to our body, we can do what? By that energy we can play, we can walk, we can run, or do some kind of work. So the energy which is released in our body after we consume the food, by that energy what we can do? We can perform certain kind of work by that. So chemical energy is contained inside food. When we take the food, that energy is released in our body, and this energy release is done by some chemical process. Okay, this is done by some chemical process. Okay, there is a lot of mechanism involved, how this food breaks and it converts into energy. You don't need to know at this point. So the food has chemical energy. When we consume the food, that energy is released in our body, and once we get that energy in our body, we can perform a lot of work like playing or say running around, something like that. So this is the first example of chemical energy. Now, what are the other examples that we have in our book related to chemical energy? Suppose you consider this is what? This is petrol. So petrol has what inside it? A petrol has chemical energy inside it. Now, as we put the petrol inside our bike, okay, we put the petrol, which is chemical energy, as we put the petrol inside our bike, what we do? We burn the petrol. We burn the petrol. Means inside the bike, the petrol burns. When the petrol burns, what happens? It releases lot of heat energy. The petrol, when it burns, it releases lot of heat energy, and that heat energy is utilized to run the engine of the bike, is used to run the engine of our bike. And as the engine runs, our bike starts moving, the vehicle moves. So what I can say from this whole diagram, the chemical energy which is there inside the petrol, we burn the petrol. After burning the petrol, the chemical energy happens to convert into heat energy. That heat energy actually runs the engine of the bike or the vehicle, and as the engine runs, the vehicle happens to go forward. So I can say, oh no, the chemical energy is utilized. The chemical energy stored inside the matter. What is the matter over here? The petrol is the matter. So the chemical energy, the energy inside the matter, is used to perform some work. The vehicle moving means what? The vehicle is doing certain kind of work. So the chemical energy stored inside the petrol is utilized to perform some work. Over here, the vehicle moving is considered as the work done. Now the other forms of chemical energy. The third form is that take a firecracker. Now all of you happen to burst crackers during Diwali time. So if I take a cracker, okay, what is there inside this chocolate bomb? Suppose this is the firecracker or chocolate bomb. So firecracker has what inside it? It has lot of chemical energy. If you happen to open a chocolate bomb, which is wrapped inside which is in the wrapper, you open the wrapper, you will find lot of powder substance. Okay, those powder substance are those chemical substances, which that chemical substances carries lot of chemical energy. So when you burn this, so when you lighten the fire in this thread, okay, what happens? What you get to see next is the firecracker happens to explode. This explodes. Okay, it explodes. So when the firecracker explodes, what happens? All the chemical energy which was there inside the chocolate bomb releases energy in the form of heat plus light, and also I can say sound. So when you burst a chocolate bomb, all the chemical energy gets transformed into heat energy, light energy, and some sound energy. Obviously, you hear a lot of sound. With that, you can see the light, and a lot of heat is also produced when the firecracker bursts. So the chemical energy which is there inside the firecracker, it is utilized to burst the cracker. So those substances which explodes when ignited. If you do, you know the meaning of the word ignited? Ignited means putting fire. Ignited means what? Fire. Okay. So substance which explodes when ignited is called explosives. Okay, even your firecracker or the chocolate bomb that you used during the Diwali, that can be considered as an explosive, because the substance or the chocolate bomb will explode when you put fire. Fire means ignited. Okay, so substance which explodes when ignited are called explosives. And other examples are there. Other examples regarding this are there in your book. You can go through it. like your torch batteries. Your torch batteries, the car cells, car batteries, even torch cells. Their car batteries and torch cells have what? They or both of them have some chemicals inside it. Okay, if you open a battery, normal battery, pencil battery, you will find lot of chemicals are there. If it has chemicals, then obviously what energy it will have? Chemical energy. Okay, so this is the complete explanation about chemical energy. Now we come to the, so we have discussed three energies: kinetic energy, potential energy, and chemical energy. Now we come to the fourth type of energy, which is very easy: muscular energy. Now, if we have to lift a heavy object, like all of you go to the school, putting your bag on your shoulder, so you have to lift the bag. How do you lift the bag? With your hands only? And the energy that comes from the muscles of your hand to lift the bag, the energy that comes from the muscles of your hand to lift the bag is called muscular energy. So the energy from our muscles is called muscular energy. Now saying that, I would also like to say this energy that we comes from our muscles, which is, now how we get the energy? How we get the energy? We get the energy by what? By eating food. By eating food only. And food contains what kind of energy? When we eat food, what we get? We get energy. We get muscular energy. And what is there inside the food? Chemical energy. Just now we happen to discuss this thing. Every food contains chemical energy. So in one way I can say or not, the muscular energy of our body that our body has, we get the muscular energy from the chemical energy. So we get the muscular energy from the chemical energy. Now after this muscular energy, I think what we have in our book is electrical energy. I think this is the fifth energy: electrical energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, chemical energy, muscular energy, and the fifth is the electrical energy. What is electrical energy? The energy used to run our fans, run our TV set, charge our mobile, light the bulb. Energy used to rotate fan, switch on TV, light bulb, charge our mobiles is called electrical energy. Okay, so this electrical energy is used to run these things. Now after electrical energy, now what are the advantages? Okay, advantages. Now there are few advantages of using electrical energy. First thing, there happens in India that certain states, mostly all the states have rivers. Like Punjab has maximum number of rivers. Bengal also has some rivers. In South also rivers are there, like Godavari, Kaveri. Now certain states, the river water always flowing. So over there, the production of electricity is higher. In certain states, there is no perennial rivers. So what happens? In those states, the river waters are mostly dry. So in those states, there is no electricity. So if I consider, so certain states have lot of electrical energy. Certain states does not have electrical energy. So we need to transfer the energy from those states which have lot of electrical energy to those states which have lesser amount of electrical energy. Just like Punjab has a lot of electrical energy, it transfers all the electrical energy to our Bengal. How does that electrical energy get transferred from a one state to another state? By electrical wires, which we happen to, if you happen to travel in the village, you will see big wires going in the field. Those are high tension wires that is used to transfer the electrical energy from long distances. Okay, so advantage, I can use what? It can be transferred. Electrical energy can be transferred over long distance. Now secondly, what is the advantage of using electrical energy? Mostly, if you have seen recently, our government has started or has taken up initiative in using electrical bikes and electrical cars. These electrical bikes and electrical cars, our government is advising everyone to approach for electrical bikes and electrical cars. Why? Because the electrical cars and bikes causes less pollution, because we don't put petrol. If the petrol doesn't burn, no pollution will be there. So electrical bikes and electrical cars doesn't cause any kind of pollution. So I can say electrical energy causes no pollution. And thirdly, what I can say about the third reason, electrical energy, if you have seen, electrical energy can be converted into other forms of energy quite easily. Okay, like that, like when we use electrical energy we use to turn on the light. So all the electrical energy that goes in the tube light converts into light energy. So electrical energy is getting converted to light energy. In the geyser, okay, the water gets heated up. So the electrical energy that goes inside the geyser heats up the water. So electrical energy converts into heat energy. So electrical energy can be easily converted to other forms of energy. Okay, electrical energy can be easily converted to other forms of energy. As I said, electrical energy can be converted into light energy, electrical energy can be converted to heat energy, and sound energy in a music system, electrical energy can be converted into sound energy. So this was all about electrical energy. Now after the electrical energy, now the sixth energy that is given in your book is heat energy. What is heat energy? The energy that we get by rubbing our hands. You take your both hands and rub. Heat energy will be produced. You would keep on rubbing for 1 minute, you will see your palms get hot. So what happens? So the energy that is produced by rubbing our hands is called heat energy. The energy that is produced by the electrical heater heats up the food or heats up the water. So the energy that we get from electrical heater is heat energy. And so you can say what? The energy that there's a big definition of heat energy, but we'll come to that in the higher classes. But for now, just for class 7, you can say heat energy is the energy which we get from the electrical heaters by rubbing our hands like that. Okay, energy we get by rubbing our hands, that is called electrical energy. Also, not only rubbing our hands, when we burn a lot of fuels, like if we burn petrol, then what happens? When we burn petrol, we get heat energy. So energy that we get by rubbing our hands, also what? Burning fuels, there can be termed as heat energy. So this is all about heat energy. Now the 7th point, magnetic energy. Now all of you have seen a magnet. I think all of you have a magnet in your house. It might be stuck to the refrigerator, it might be stuck to the almirah, wherever. Now if you have a magnet and you happen to bring a small iron nail, this is a small iron nail near it, then what happens? In a fraction of a second, the iron nails gets from this position, okay, gets from this position to this position. So the iron nail sticks to the magnet. So this is the magnet. This is the magnet and the iron nail sticks towards the magnet. Now why it sticks towards the magnet? Because every magnet has, around the magnet there is a region. Around the magnet there is a region. This is the region of the magnet. And the region around the magnet where the magnetic attraction is felt. Like if we take a small nail over here, it won't get attracted. Now it won't get attracted. But as soon as this nail happens to enter the magnetic field, this enters the magnetic field. What is this? This is called magnetic field. As soon as the nail enters this magnetic field, suddenly the nail gets pulled towards the magnet. So the region around the magnet is called magnetic field. Again, I'm repeating myself. The region around the magnet is called magnetic field. And in the magnetic field, in this magnetic field, a certain kind of energy is stored, a certain kind of energy is there. So the energy which is there inside the magnetic field is called magnetic energy. So the energy which is there around in the magnetic field, the energy which is there in the magnetic field is called magnetic energy. So I think this magnetic energy is clear to all of you. If this magnetic energy is clear to all of you, then we will come to the other two forms of energy. Light energy. Now sunlight, plants, all the plants, or I will say specifically green plants. A green plant, okay, a green plant, this is a leaf of the plant. Okay. So a plant takes the, this is the sun. So the plant, when it is exposed under the sun, so the plant happens to absorb the sunlight or the light energy. So the plant takes the light energy. Along with that, the plant also takes carbon dioxide from the air, also takes water from the ground. So carbon dioxide plus water and what? Sunlight. And I think you know this is green plant. So it will have what? Chlorophyll. So chlorophyll, chlorophyll which is there inside the green leaves, sunlight from the sun along with carbon dioxide from the air and water from the ground, it gives you what? All these four items together, they combine and gives you food. It gives you food, and this process is known as photosynthesis, which I think all of you are common to this term, photosynthesis. So I can say that light energy is used. Light energy is used in the process of photosynthesis to produce food by the plants. So this is light energy. Other forms of light energy is also there, that the light energy that comes from the tube light. By that you can see everything that is around you. One thing I just want to clarify over here, it is also given in your book. Okay, it is given in your book. I think this part you understood, the photosynthesis part. Now one thing I just need to explain. Light and heat energy are always found together. Light energy and heat energy are always found together. Like what? If you burn a candle, when you burn a candle, this is a candle, and when you burn a candle, obviously the candle will give what? the candle will emit light. The candle will emit light. The candle will emit light, but also remember, along with light, it also gives heat. So every object which gives light also gives heat. Okay, like the sun. Sun gives us sunlight, but also in the summers it is so hot. So sun, you can take the example of sun giving light and heat energy simultaneously. Means what? Together. Sun gives the light energy and heat energy together, side by side. That is why light and heat energy are found together. I think this part is clear to you. And after the light energy, the last energy that we have is what? The last energy that we have in our book is sound energy. Now, what is sound energy? A detailed explanation of that is there in class 8 book. But right now, you don't need to go in that details. Just understand the basics of sound energy. Sound is produced by a vibrating body. Sound is produced by a vibrating body always. You take a guitar, and what you do? You plug the string. You take a guitar and plug the string. As you plug the strings of the guitar, what happens? Sound is heard. What happens? Sound is heard. So when you plug the string, what you do? You are producing a certain kind of vibration. When you plug the string, you are producing a certain kind of vibration, and because of this vibration, at that point, sound is produced. So sound is produced by a body which is vibrating. Without vibration, nothing, sound is not produced. Even as I am speaking, there is a vibration going in my voice box. Because of the vibration in my voice box, the sound is coming from my mouth. So there is a vibrating body in my throat, and because that sound box over there, that part of the part of the body that is vibrating, because of that, sound is coming out. And that sound which comes out, suppose this is a bell. Okay, this is the bell, and this bell happens to vibrate. When you ring the bell will do what? The bell will do vibration. The bell will do vibration. And this vibration of the bell, okay, the bell will just vibrate. The vibration of the bell will be transferred across the air. Okay, across the air. And suppose there is a person who's here. Okay, na? So this vibration happens to enter the ear of that person. So the vibration produced by the bell, the vibration of the bell also vibrates the air, also vibrates the air. And this, when the air vibrates, the vibration does what? The vibration gets transferred from one layer to another layer, from second layer to third layer to fourth layer, fourth to fifth. Like that, the vibration is transferred and enters the ear, and we get to hear the sound. So in the sound energy, just remember few concepts like sound is produced by a vibrating body. When you plug the string of the guitar, we are vibrating the guitar, and correspondingly the sound is produced. And sound travels through the air. Now you tell me, as you know, the sound is traveling through the air. Going through the air means what? Sound is moving. Sound is moving. And any moving body has what? Any moving body has what? I have told you in the previous lectures. Lecture 1 I have told you. Any moving body has what kind of energy? It has kinetic energy. Okay, if you haven't seen the video, see video number 1 of class 7. I have explained you any moving body has kinetic energy. So you know, as the sound travels, it has kinetic energy. and the kinetic energy happens to enter our ears, and we get the sound, we get the feeling that yeah, sound is coming. Okay, so this was about the different types of sound. I hope you have understood the chapter. I hope you have understood this chapter till now, what I have taught you. And if you haven't watched understood, I will request you to watch the video one more time, play the video one more time, and I'm definitely sure that you will understand it. Notes have been given in the attachment in the class dojo. So if you want to write, you can write, but notes have been given, so you just need to download that notes in the PDF form and go through it, read the notes, study the notes, understand the chapter, and after we complete the chapter, we will discuss the back question answers of our book. Okay, so if you have understood or if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button and share with your friends. Okay, bye and take care.